If the perils of climate change have taught us anything, it's that Mother Nature can be cruel and unpredictable. Tornadoes, hurricanes, avalanches, landslides, and tsunamis are just the tip of the melting iceberg when it comes to natural disasters. And with the advent of cameras and smartphones, people all across the world are sharing the ups and downs of the natural world. That's why we're breaking down the 10 most insane natural phenomena caught on camera. Number 10. Norway landslide. Many underestimate the power of a rainy day. Heavy rainfalls can be much worse than wet socks or an uncomfortable walk to work. In fact, a landslide in Norway proved that to be the case during 2020. The entire thing was caught on film. A giant chunk of land, approximately 24 acres, was filmed being washed away. The piece of land even had houses on it. The entire piece broke away from the land and began sliding into the Norway Sea. Eventually, everything sunk into the water and left virtually nothing behind. Of course, the people filming could only watch helplessly as the land drifted off. There was nothing anyone could do to stop a natural disaster like this, but simply be grateful they remained safe. Number 9. Malaysia landslide. Yet another massive landslide on our list, but this one goes way back to 1993. The Malaysian landslide was captured on tape. Enormous chunks of a mountainside simply broke away and came sliding down. To see this sheer amount of land suddenly shifting is a reminder of how much bigger the natural forces of Earth can be as compared to human beings. The video footage may not be great, but the sight is breathtaking. Number 8. Hailstorm. Depending on where you live, hailstorms can be incredibly rare. While some regions may encounter the storms more than others, they're often fairly harmless but can be catastrophic under the right conditions. More likely than not, a hailstorm brings down a rain of tiny pellet-sized balls of ice. But even an inch or two bigger, and the results of that hailstorm can be drastic. In the past few years, some Midwesterners and Southerners of the United States have taken to social media to share video clips of their hailstorm experiences. They've shown videos and photos of hailballs the size of softballs. The damage can destroy cars and even knock a person out. On April 20th, 2020, in Texas, a hailstorm brought new record hailball sizes. Massive ice balls from the sky obliterated car windshields, damaged houses, and shattered building windows. Number 7. Guadalajara, Mexico disaster. Last year, in Guadalajara, Mexico, a hailstorm disaster struck that shocked the world. Residents awoke to find almost 5 feet of ice in some parts of the city. Hundreds of homes were damaged, with cars all across the city stuck in place. One viral clip showed a tractor trailer attempting to make its delivery. The truck tries to plow through almost 4 to 5 feet of ice. Who would have thought that one of the most beautiful deserts in Mexico could bring that much hail? The intensity of the storm and the amount of hail it left behind will certainly go down in the record books. Number 6. Beacon of Maracaibo. In Venezuela, a well-known pattern of lightning often turns the sky into somewhat of a dangerous but dazzling light show. The Beacon of Maracaibo is also referred to as the Everlasting Storm. Many might assume this is an exaggeration, especially if you're from most parts of the world where lightning storms come and go pretty quickly. This region experiences heightened lightning, which had mostly been unseen until Venezuelans began recording the natural phenomena on their phones. In this region, the night skies will sometimes be lit by streaks of constant lightning for up to 9 hours. On average, the area is hit by about 260 storms per year. It also holds the world record for most lightning with 250 flashes per square meter each year. In October, you can catch an average of 28 lightning flashes per minute. Scientists have been able to observe toast flashes from up to 250 miles away. Number 5. Norway avalanche. Back to Norway again. Back in 2017, a man was recording a mountain and was able to catch an avalanche just as it started. In the beginning, you can see the snow just starting to collect, but then things quickly shift. The snow just keeps calming. At first it looks calm and is slowly building up, but soon, the snow drops into a gully and the avalanche becomes a powder avalanche. Don't be fooled by the name. This powder can reach speeds up to 190 miles per hour and can produce a mass of over 10 million tons. It can often travel way further than people realize and can even go uphill in some cases. Avalanches pose a threat to mountainside communities all over the world. This is why they're often blown up before they can get too big and dangerous. In the next clip though, you'll catch one of the biggest avalanches caught on film, which was purposely done. Number 4. Floods in Libya. In Libya, recent flooding caused a series of natural disasters that took a massive toll on the people living there. Heavy rainfall brought on a series of floods across the country. In turn, this flooding dragged huge chunks of land and produced a number of landslides. The country wasn't prepared for the damage that was caused and had to bring in international aid to assist in the cleanup. Some residents lost their cars for good, not to mention the millions of dollars worth of damage to homes, buildings, and public infrastructure. Number 3. Flooding in Italy. In Italy, extreme flooding brought about a number of sinkholes that wreaked damage across the country. As intense rain pounded the country for days, many cities began flooding. This flooding caused streets to erode and carved away sinkholes beneath the earth. Eventually, these gave way and brought cars and even buildings with them. Massive rivers were overflowing with water and brought rivers of water pouring through the streets. Entire houses and other buildings were also swept away with the damage. Many of the Italian floods in recent years were captured on camera phones and shared online. It's pretty shocking to see entire villages submerged in what looks to be 5 to 10 feet of water. Number 2. Hurricane in the Philippines. Hurricanes are some of the most dangerous natural phenomena on Earth and often bring about a series of other catastrophic natural events. Many hurricanes are categorized by their size and power, but most can bring winds well over 100 miles per hour. Typhoon Ulysses in the Philippines was a powerful Category 4 typhoon. On November 11, 2020, it made landfall and caused absolute devastation. The city hadn't seen damage and flooding like this since their last major hurricane back in 2009. Of course, this was just the beginning. The country also faced another massive storm named Goni. This tropical cyclone was considered a super typhoon and was labeled a Category 5. It kept its category strength for an entire day. At one point, winds reached up to 140 miles per hour for a sustained 10 minutes. At worst, observers recorded the storm reaching winds of up to 190 miles per hour at 1 minute. While that may not seem long, that's long enough to cause an incredible amount of damage. Goni has gone down as the strongest and most intense super typhoon ever recorded. Back in 2016, another typhoon known as Typhoon Megi swept across Taiwan and eastern China. It left almost 4 million people without power for days. This was considered the second worst blackout in history. High winds ripped trees right out of the ground, tore through business fronts, tossed cars and power lines, and caused millions of dollars of damage. By the way, the Philippines are the third most dangerous place to live due to natural disasters. You might want to double check your weather report before moving there or visiting. Number 1. Kauai, Hawaii. You've probably never heard or seen this insane weather phenomenon before. The island of Kauai, Hawaii, was pounded by 519 inches of rain in 2018. It all happened in a single year. At one point, 50 inches came down in just 24 hours. This is what climate scientists call a rain bomb. The footage of this is pretty intense, and to spectators, it looked unlike anything they had ever seen before. This much rainfall has to come down so fast, it's hard to tell if rain is even falling from far away. In fact, from a distance, it almost looks like an alien attack. Or worse, many spectators liken the rain bomb on Kauai to a nuclear bomb. Of course, flooding only made the situation worse. But strangely enough, the flooding water turned orange from the high content of iron in the volcanic soil so common across Hawaii. For residents, this was definitely an Armageddon-like moment. Houses filled with water, cars were swept away, and many feared for their lives. Let us know in the comments about a natural phenomenon you may have caught on camera or witnessed that you just couldn't believe. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos. This has been our breakdown of 10 most insane natural phenomena caught on camera.